Calvin Ford, what does he mean to you when you hear that name? What does he mean when you first hear that?
A father.
Mm-hmm.
Father. And then when I was coming to the gym, I was getting that love that I ain't have at home type stuff. So it was always like, Calvin, saying I walked through the gym, Calvin, like looking for him.
What if Tank Davis's biggest disagreement with Calvin Ford had nothing to do with boxing and instead sprang from something much more toxic that occurred behind the scenes?
It's not all on Coach Calvin, and it's not all on Coach Kenny, and it's not all on Gervonta Davis. I have been paying attention to that camp for a while. I know people in that camp. I know people around that camp. And I can tell you without a doubt that the major issue with Gervonta Davis and that particular camp was the fact that there's so many paid snitches in his camp. It was replete with family members and other people who, whenever they got a piece of information about Gervonta Davis, would try to go out and give that information to somebody else in exchange for money.
However, there is more to this narrative because Davis's problems with Kenny Ellis and Calvin Ford escalated when they started training Chris Eubank.
You see these two men, they have had absolute impact. And now all of a sudden, you found this young lady. How did it come about?
Oh, when I got jumped in Compton, I didn't have no fear in me, and I basically whooped everybody that intended on jumping me. I left without a scratch.
And this has been a major factor in the breakup since Calvin now remembers the time spent honing and cultivating Tank and still hopes the best for him going forward.
All that, but in my head, looking at how I was grooming him, I got videos that a guy named Omar made. He heard me. He said, yo, we're going to sign with Al. We're going to get with Floyd. And I was just talking. And I didn't even recognize I said it. And that was 5 years before Tank even got where he was at. And everything I sit there and say, man, and people don't understand, what comes out of here and comes in existence, that's from your Lord. You already have what you had because he already gave it to you. It's just how you go about getting it.
Yeah, very
so
true.
The story with Pedraza, Tank and Floyd went through some situations. It's coming out slowly but surely.
Yeah.
And I told Tank, I said, yo, we fucked up. I keep it real with him. I said, the main thing you can do right now is keep winning.
Since then, it has been extensively stated that Ford made a grave error by hiring Chris Eubank because Tank believed his career was no longer the top concern.
What I was going through, like how I just fought in Compton, and I tried it out with, I tried to get trained by Ryan Garcia, that didn't go right. And I tried to get trained by some other people, that wasn't right. So then, it was more so like, it put me right back in Baltimore where I'm from, so it's cool. But I hit him on Christmas Eve. But I ain't getting no text back till a couple days after that.
Couple days.
As the narrative progresses, it stems from Tank's dissatisfaction with Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis for allegedly failing to preserve his privacy and exposing information to the public.
Gervonta is looking up at the internet, seeing what's being said about him, hearing this information coming out about himself and saying, man, where is this coming from? Originally, and this was a couple years ago, I remember when Gervonta started getting upset with it and he started blocking people and getting mad about stuff. And he started telling Kenny and Calvin, that basically not to be announcing things, not to say things about who he's going to fight next or what he's going to do next, because Gervonta started getting irritated about that. I also know that Calvin Ford stopped talking to the media for a long period of time. Kenny Ellis stopped talking to the media about Gervonta in that way.
The disclosures get even more shocking as more information comes to light. Calvin Ford discussed the speculations about Gervonta Tank Davis and his training circumstances on a podcast with Smoothie King. Ford made an odd remark throughout the conversation that implied Tank might not even be in charge of his own Twitter account. The comment immediately attracted notice, adding another level of mystery to the two sides' already complex and well-publicized disagreement.
Gervonta Davis's camp is in turmoil. Man, it's crazy out there, man, on two fronts. One, word is that Gervonta Davis switched trainers again. And the second is word from his camp that they don't believe that Gervonta Davis is really the person talking and making the fight with Devin Haney. Absolute positive, just disorder. That's what I can say about that, man. And it makes me nervous for what's going on with Gervonta.
Calvin stated precisely, as of right now, I haven't heard anything about tank training with another coach. We work as a team. I also don't pay attention to any of this online content. Furthermore, that Twitter user is not Tank at all. On the one hand, Calvin Ford maintains that he is not aware of any formal training collaboration between Tank Davis and Jose Benavidez Sr. However, the boxing community is already responding as though the transfer is final, and a lot of that conjecture grew more intense once Jose posted video of Tank working out, making their relationship seem more real. The recordings immediately caused controversy in the sport and raised concerns about Davis's current situation. Showbiz the adult weighed in on the matter, claiming that the video was used to promote Tank alongside Team Benavidez and raise awareness of the company in addition to being a training update.
Tank Davis going to Jose Benavidez Sr. as his coach. I'm not sure if he's completely departing from Calvin Ford tutelage, but it's official. I just saw on Jose Benavidez Sr. Instagram and on his socials, he's showing Gervonta Tank Davis working out in this video and announcing and marketing the new Gervonta Tank Davis on Team Benavidez merchandise. Now, he had a few videos out there showing Gervonta Tank Davis working out and all those things, and I promise you, he could not have made this announcement without Gervonta Tank Davis's blessing. For me, this makes it official, their relationship.
It's never easy to let go of a trainer you previously thought of as a father figure, but what might be going on behind the scenes is even more shocking. Sean Porter and Sean Zill discussed Tank's decision to train with Jose Benavidez Sr. and looked at the escalating drama surrounding the split. Zittel noted that the precise cause of the fallout is yet unknown and unconfirmed. However, he acknowledged that his opinion of Tank has been impacted by the circumstance. From his point of view, Calvin Ford was important in helping Davis develop from the ground up and stood by him during trying times, such as criticism, legal issues, and public disputes, making the split far more painful than a normal trainer change.
No, I just, it's like, I don't know what the big beef is. Why Calvin built you from scratch. He has always went to bat for you, even when you make it very hard for someone to go to bat for you with all the shit you put you yourself and your fan base through and the boxing world through. And Calvin's always tried to say the right things to not offend you. Right. But hey,
to that, I'll say this, and then we'll do the
he stand down when you brought in Barry as the head trainer for the Lamont Roach fight.
Talked you up.
Right.
And some coaches just made for it. Much people think I hate Sean dad. I've told Sean every time, you need to stay with your dad, haven't I?
Oh, yeah.
I never told Sean to leave you.
There's a good aspect to the story despite the talk of treachery and the circumstances underlying this split. According to Sean Porter, Tank has found solace in working and training with Jose Benavidez Sr., which may play a significant role in the future. Because Team Benavidez has lately collaborated with other well-known boxers, the alliance is already garnering attention. Ryan Garcia joined the team a few months back and defeated Mario Barrios. Because of that success, a lot of fans think Tank might continue to grow, hone his abilities, and possibly do even better in upcoming encounters in this new setting.
How does that work? I'm not sure if that's a great matchup.
I feel like there's some comfort there.
Is that what it is?
I feel like that's what it is. I feel like there's some
They
comfort
both
there.
killers.
He's down in Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
Miami, yeah.
It's Washington.
Yeah, he's between
Seattle, Washington, Florida, Arizona, Vegas.
Yeah. He be everywhere?
Yeah. Which might match the lifestyle of Gervonta Davis,
Yeah. Surprising to see it, I think. But I feel like he's comfortable with Jose. And just telling y'all what I know, sometimes that's all it takes. Whatever's gonna get this light flip up, turned on, and keep it on, sometimes it's comfort.
Because Jose is inherently more familiar with his son David Benavidez's technique. Some believe he might not be the best trainer for Tank. Others vehemently disagree, pointing out that Jose has successfully worked with sportsmen outside of his own family, such as Ryan Garcia, and has trained fighters for many years. Additionally, Sean Porter discussed the mounting hostility between Tank and Ford, speculating that it had probably been developing for a while. According to Porter, every fighter should have a squad that changes with them and recognizes their evolving demands. His remarks subtly suggest that Tank and his longtime camp may have become estranged as a result of Chris and Rock's involvement.
I can be myself with, and that, when I'm ready to move, they move it. When they ready to move, I'm moving. And I feel like he thinks he has that with Jose.
I don't know.
That's just right off the top of the head.
He likes to move when he wants to move. Too.
Yeah.
And Jose won't care.
You see how long it takes him to arrive at events.
Yeah.
What's the deal? I don't know.
That's a weird one for me.
Why?
It's just only like it's paired up right. Like I feel like Jose can definitely train his son. I'm not sure about everything.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We seen him train Jose and David, and then also
Pacheco and Rayo.
Jose Rayo, yeah, and Pacheco as well. Pacheco isn't with them,
and they both are gone.
Yeah.
And they both are.
Yeah.
Tank's breakup with his longtime coaches and trainers seems to have been caused by a number of issues rather than just one. According to reports, frustration has been growing in a number of areas, such as significant fights not happening, training efforts not always yielding the expected results, and information leaking out of camp. The fact that there was speculation of a split well before the Lamont-Roach fight adds to the intrigue of the scenario. Changes in the training arrangement around that time, according to people acquainted with Tank's group, only fueled more conjecture. Furthermore, a lot of people think that Tank was dissatisfied with some elements of his performance versus Roach, which further worsened their already tense relationship.
For quite some time. I can't remember if it started before the Lamont-Roach fight or after it. But there was a time where there was some tension between that whole camp, right? Where Gervonta Davis started training with Barry Hunter, if you recall. And it seemed like Coach Cal and Coach Kenny might be out at that time as well. But correct me if I'm wrong, was that prior to the Lamont-Roach fight or after the Lamont-Roach fight? I believe it was prior to.
It was prior, because he hasn't fought since Lamont. So it was before.
And so I think everything kind of smoothed over. And at the end of the day, they had that fight. The results weren't exactly what Gervonta Davis had hoped for in a fight.
Tank has reportedly engaged in back-and-forth conversations with Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and a number of other fighters on Twitter using a burner account. The directness and intimacy of their exchanges have frequently drawn attention. Tank seemed to divulge information about his training circumstances and the location of his camp during one specific conversation. The remarks soon sparked more rumors regarding his connection with Kenny Ellis and Calvin Ford, providing another window into the tensions that might have been developing behind the scenes long before breakup was made public.
This one guy said, hey, and honestly, if you pay attention, you can tell all that Rise podcast-ish, and even the way Kenny posts, they forgetting the reason to be in it, right? And Gervonta Davis' response was, the reason why I won't be around them anymore, right? So he's basically saying, they are trying to claim the limelight, things of that nature, and that's the reason why Gervonta Davis is saying that he's not going to be around them anymore.
There was one before that. Want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so post that Calvin and Kenny are worse trainers than Bill Haney. Tank responded, no, they're not. They just in it for the wrong reason now. They want to be famous.
Greg, who has visited the gym frequently and spent time near Tank Davis's training camps, acknowledges that he finds the whole situation astounding. He believes that the division is much more significant than most fans are aware. The alleged conflict between Tank and Truck Simpson adds another level of complexity to the narrative. While Tank is heading in a different way with Jose Benavidez Sr., Simpson seemed committed to sticking with Calvin Ford. Davis's mounting dissatisfaction with his perceived treatment is at the core of it all. According to reports, he is searching elsewhere for the dedication and focus he demands from his team, since he feels that his coaches and trainers' goals have changed.
All insinuated. And then Truck came behind that and said, he not lying today. I'm assuming he's talking about Tank. The response was, is that why you went to H-Town for a while, if you don't mind me asking? Yeah, but I still got faith in Calvin. He can get it together. Nobody perfect. Also respect how bro feel too, because our life and everything is on the line. So he's talking about Gervonta Davis. So they're basically saying, and it sounds like Simpson is confirming that Kenny and Coach Cal are chasing the limelight instead of doing what they need to do. Again, I can't comment on it. They're going to know better than I. They didn't seem like guys that were chasing limelight when I met them. They just seemed like down-to-earth, kind of wholesome people.
Opinions are still being expressed, with some viewing the relocation as a wise professional move and others voicing worries. Sean Zittle thinks that when it comes to choices on Calvin Ford's future, Tank seems to be in complete control. Sean claims that one of the main problems is how Ford and Kenny Ellis engage with the media and talk about things outside of the gym. He speculates that Tank may have become increasingly irritated as a result of these public remarks. More significantly, Sean believes that the circumstances show a growing lack of trust and communication, a divide that progressively widened over time and eventually contributed significantly to the breakup.
So, Tank, in my opinion, needs discipline, structure. If Calvin and Kenny ain't, for whatever reason, if that's even a thing, like we could all that could just be a false rumor.
No, it's fair to question. They don't like, Calvin doesn't like to confront Gervonta Davis, whether it's through us in the media or just from, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like he doesn't want to piss him off or offend him. And it sounds like you're saying he needs someone who's going to say, hey, be here at this fucking time.
What, then, was the driving force behind Tank Davis's decision to leave the team that made him one of the biggest names in boxing? Was it the Chris and Rock scenario, shifting priorities, media disclosures, or years of friction finally coming to a head? One thing is certain, regardless of the reality, the next phase of Tank's career may be altered by this breakup. Will he become even more dangerous as a result of this move, or will he miss the team that supported him from the start? Leave a comment with your ideas. Stay tuned for more boxing updates. Hit like and subscribe.